About 8 days after these sayings, Jesus took with him Peter and John and James and went up on the mountain to pray. And while he was praying, the appearance of his face changed, and his clothes became dazzling white. Suddenly they saw two men, Moses and Elijah, talking to him. They appeared in glory and were speaking of his departure, which he was about to accomplish at Jerusalem. Now Peter and his companions were weighed down with sleep. But since they had stayed awake, they saw his glory and the two men who stood with him. Just as they were leaving him, Peter said to Jesus, "Master, it is good for us to be here. Let us make 3 dwellings, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah," not knowing what he said. While he was saying this, a cloud came and overshadowed them, and they were terrified as they entered the cloud. Then from the cloud came a voice that said, "This is my Son, my chosen. Listen to him." When the voice had spoken, Jesus was found alone, and they kept silent in those days and told no one any of the things they had seen. On the next day, when they had come down from the mountain, a great crowd met him. Just then a man from the crowd shouted, "Teacher, I beg you to look at my son. He is my only child." Suddenly a spirit seizes him, and all at once he shrieks. It convulses him until he foams at the mouth, and it mauls him and will scarcely leave him. I begged your disciples to cast it out, but they could not. Jesus answered, "You faithless and perverse generation, how much longer must I be with you and bear with you? Bring your son here." While he was coming, the demon dashed him to the ground in convulsions. But Jesus rebuked the unclean spirit, healed the boy, and gave him back to his father. And all were astounded at the greatness of God. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise be to you, Lord Christ. Good morning, everyone. Please be seated, except for all of my littles who I would like to have join me up here. Stuart, you were ready. You come join me. Hi. Please, join me on the steps. Littles and less littles, littles of all ages. Hi. Good morning, everybody. So many happy, smiling friends. Hi, Lily. It's good to see you. Hi, Alice. Happy Sunday. I love your shoes. That's amazing. They're very cool. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Transfiguration Sunday. That's a big word, right? Transfiguration? Uh-huh. Can you say transfiguration? Transfiguration. Great job, Reverend Ben. Great job. Transfiguration, it's a big word. Does anyone know what transfiguration means? It's like an extra credit. Bo, do you know what it means? Do you feel called out? Somebody falls and then gets picked up. That is a great guess. I like that guess. You're close. The dictionary, I looked this up for you, so I would make sure I got it right. The dictionary says that transfiguration means to completely change the form or appearance to make it a more spiritual or beautiful state. So transfiguration means change. Does that make sense? Transfiguration means change. Great job. Thank you, Wes. Change. That's right. Transfiguration means change. But it doesn't. Yes, that's true. And you know, it doesn't just mean that I change my pair of pants or I change my hair into a different color. Complete transformation. Totally different, right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Now, what is something that you have seen in your life that was so amazing you couldn't believe your eyes? Has anyone ever seen something so amazing? Adam. Oh.
So, it was so long. It was like longer
Uh-huh.
it was like half the size of like a big town.
Okay, a huge graveyard. I like that. Stuart,
My dog howled.
your dog howled and that was amazing? In a good way? Okay, I'll take that. Yes, what's something amazing you've seen? A real unicorn. That's now on my list. I want to see a real unicorn. Lily, what's something amazing you've seen? Oh, I love it. Has anyone ever seen a rainbow? Rainbow? You've seen a real rainbow in real life? Yeah? Has anyone ever seen a shooting star? You have to stay up pretty late, yeah, to see a shooting star. We'll tell you what. I love that. I love it. So many things. I love it. Yes, see a shooting star. That's pretty amazing. And I have to tell you, one of the most amazing things that I've ever seen in my life is called the Perseid meteor shower. And it's crazy. You go out really late at night. It only happens once a year, usually in late August. And we would always travel to the beach with our family. And so we'd go out on the beach late at night, lay on the sand, and look up at the sky. And it looked like there were thousands of shooting stars raining across the sky. And it was the most amazing thing I have ever seen. Now, I'd like to tell you about something amazing that happened to Jesus. Can I tell you something amazing that happened to Jesus? Well, Jesus had a lot of close friends, right? Do you remember what he called his close friends? Thank you, Carrie. Disciples, that's right. A+, gold star. I'll give you one after. Disciples. And he asked a couple of his disciples to come up on a mountain with him one day. He said, Peter, James, John, you want to take a hike with me? And they were like, sure, Jesus, let's go. And so up the mountain they went. And when they got to the top of the mountain, everything was normal, and everybody looked normal. And then, all of a sudden, Jesus started to glow. I know. Woe is right. I was going to ask Stuart, how do you think Peter and James and John felt when Jesus started to glow? How do you think? Scared is probably a good answer. I've never seen a person glow, and I don't think I would be super excited about it. Or maybe you would be. Yeah? If you were on the mountain and you saw Jesus start to glow, what would you do? Oh, okay. That's one option. Hit him and run away. You look at him? It's a lot of... It's a fight or flight response. I get it. I do. Ooh, a glowing octopus. Imagine if Jesus was glowing like your octopus. Pretty crazy, right? Hey, Scott. Carrie, will you grab that basket? Now, I have something for you, but you have to follow instructions if you want it. Does anybody know what these are? Oh, you know, do you? Everybody take one. Just one. Don't crack it. Don't crack it yet. Hold it really gently and keep it really straight. Of course you may. Of course you may. That's right. Well, they are called glow sticks. Are they glowing right now? No? They look pretty ordinary, right? I've got plenty, don't you worry. They're pretty. Here you go. There you go. Oh. Now, is there anything exciting about these glow sticks right now? Do they look exciting?
They're colored.
They have some of them. There's a couple of them don't have any color at all. There you go, Nathan. Hi, Maisie. There you go, babe. Now look, pretty ordinary, right? Lily, did you get one? Now what happens if you activate it? Something pretty amazing, right? Go ahead. You can crack them. Crack your glow sticks. What's happening? What's happening? Ooh, it's like knuckle cracking. It's very satisfying. There you go. Anybody else want a glow stick? You need a glow stick? There you go. There you go. Kate, did you get one? You can have one, Hudson. One per person. There you go, Miss Hopes. You can have one glow stick per person. Now, what's happening to our glow sticks? Are they glowing? What happened to Jesus on that mountain? He was glowing. That's right. Yes, you can keep these. can keep your glow sticks forever. But I will say that much like Jesus on the mountain that day, they won't glow for long. They're going to maybe glow for like 8 hours. So enjoy them while they last. They might glow until you go to sleep tonight, depending on your bedtime. Ooh, well, they kind of fade out over time. You can't really stop them from glowing once they start glowing. Maybe that's what the disciples asked. They're like, how do we get Jesus to stop glowing? So, Jesus is on the mountain. Jesus is glowing like our glow sticks. And then guess what? Not only is Jesus glowing, but all of a sudden, 2 very important people from the Bible show up. Elijah, who was a prophet, who lived hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So it wasn't like he just hiked up. He appeared. And then Moses also appeared. Moses, who led the Israelites out of Egypt, yes, who parted the Red Sea. Does anyone know how Moses makes his coffee? He brews it. Thank you. Okay, I know, it's a bad joke, but I like it, I enjoy it. So, Elijah and Moses are talking to Jesus on this mountain. Jesus is glowing, and the poor disciples are just like, what is going on? Poor Peter is like running in circles. He's like, I'll build tents, and then we can just stay on the mountain with our tents, and that'll be great. But before Peter can even start building his crazy tents, a cloud descends from the sky and covers everything. I think it's liquid. We'll have to look that up later, actually. I'm not sure. That's how the glow works. So the cloud descends, and no one can see anything. Imagine it. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. But not with your glow stick. Can you see anything? I can't see you. Where's that voice coming from? They can't see anything with this cloud, and all of a sudden, the voice of God speaks. Do you think the voice of God was quiet? Or do you think the voice of God was loud? What do you think? You think it was loud, booming? It was like, hello, I am God. Yeah, kind of like that, probably. I always imagine it's a pretty deep voice. Yes, exactly like that. You know what God said in that cloud? Do you know what he said? He said, this is my son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him. So, the disciples, he is, yes, but he was speaking and everyone could hear his voice. It was so loud. And the poor disciples at this point, they are so terrified, they fall on the ground. They just fall out. They're so scared. They fall on the ground, terrified. But Jesus comes over to them. I think he puts his hand on their shoulder and he says, get up, do not be afraid. And when the disciples, yes, it glows. When the disciples get up, everything's normal again. No cloud, no Moses, no Elijah. Jesus is not glowing anymore. And Jesus says, don't tell anybody about this just yet. We're just going to keep this to ourselves. So what does this all mean? What do you think it means? That's a good answer, Stuart. I don't know. I think that the disciples also said, what does this mean? I don't know. Well, let me tell you. Jesus, a lot of people thought that Jesus was an ordinary person, just like you or me. Or maybe he was just a great teacher. Or maybe he was a prophet.
Or maybe this happened.
Maybe. But you know what? You know what Jesus was? You know what Jesus is? That's true, Carrie. You're not wrong about that. But more importantly, we see Jesus glowing on the mountain because he was the Son of God. And God himself said, this is my son, so that there could be no confusion about who Jesus was. Jesus was the Son of God. That's pretty crazy, right? Yeah? Thank you, Carrie. Now, I have a couple of questions for you. Is Jesus standing here in this room with us right now? Okay, yes, in the spiritual sense, physically, no. Do you see him standing in the aisle before us? No, not really. So, knowing that he's not standing right in front of us, how can we see the light of Jesus? Any thoughts? I like that. The glow stick, show us the light of Jesus. I like that. What about prayer? Is prayer a way to see the light of Jesus? Adam, do you have a way to see the light of Jesus? The sun, I love it. God created the sun. I like that. I like to think of prayer as a way to see Jesus' light. Reading the Bible is a great way to see the light of Jesus. Yes? Your octopus, I like that. Now, what about, we've seen the light of Jesus. How can we shine the light of Jesus to other people? Ready? Be kind. Yes, absolutely. You can be kind to other people. That's how we show Jesus' light. We can help other people, right? It's so easy to help other people. You know, All Saints, as a church, we help a lot of people in a lot of different ways. Congregational care, we pack lunches, we pray for people, we give flowers to people with the Flower Guild. There's so many ways we can shine our light, shine Jesus' light for other people. Make sense? So let's review. Can we review together? Transfiguration means change. That's right. Transfiguration means change. And what happened to Jesus when he went up on that mountain? He changed, he transfigured, he glowed. He was shining like the sun. That's right. But what did Jesus tell the disciples when they were totally freaked out? He said, do not be afraid. That's right. Do not be afraid. You guys need to join like a trivia team. You're nailing this. This is awesome. Do not be afraid. That's right. That's right. So here's my challenge to you this week. Do you want a challenge? Yes? A challenge this week for you. I want you to do one thing to show somebody else the light of Jesus. Just one thing. All right? And we talked about you can be kind, you can help people. So one thing this week, just one thing. And it can be super simple. But I want you to show the light of Jesus to somebody else. Do you think you can do that? Yes? I bet if you talk to your mom and dad, they're super smart and they'll help you figure it out. Ooh, I actually have a bonus challenge for you too. As you go back to your seats with your parents, can you not be a nuisance with your glow sticks? And if you are a nuisance, your parents have full permission to take the glow sticks from your possession, okay? With great glow stick power comes great responsibility. Sound good?